Continuing our Star Wars run, we are going to talk about Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And now this is some of the best Star Wars that finally connects the prequel trilogy to the main three.
Yeah, first of all, Griffin and I are prequel lovers, if you will.
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean, I really enjoy the prequels. I say what you want about Jar Jar Binks, the prequel era, that's where I want to live in Star Wars. This movie is phenomenal. I couldn't wait for this movie to come out, and there's very little of this movie that I dislike. I can tell you that right off the bat. It is for all the people that have given Hayden Christensen shit over the years. I always thought he was great as Anakin Skywalker. I thought he did, even George Lucas, so fuck you guys, because George Lucas was like, he's he played him exactly the way I wanted the character to be played. That's what more do you want?
Yeah, I do think Hayden Christian did an amazing job throughout the prequels. We talked about the first two more in depth. We'll try to in our previous videos, so you can go check those out. We'll try to avoid that as much as possible. But I think in this movie, just Hayden Christensen and Ewan McGregor were perfect. They did such an amazing job together. The banter and just the heartbreak and betrayal in this movie is so good. This Anakin Skywalker is one of the best character arcs ever.
Ever. I agree.
And the conclusion to this, the downfall of such a tragic character, it was very satisfying to watch. I really enjoy watching this movie every time. I think that just starting off with just the most obvious things that are amazing about this movie, the lightsaber fights.
Oh,
All the lightsaber fights in the prequels are top notch. This movie pushed those to to another level that we really haven't seen since. We've gotten hints of it in Ahsoka, but not nearly to the 10-minute or something epic battle between Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin Skywalker. And that was just legendary. It's the best live action lightsaber fight ever. And it's something I can watch over and over and over again.
and shout outs to Nick Gillard, who was the stunt coordinator on the entire prequel trilogy. But here, I remember after episode two, the entire consensus was between Hayden, Ewan, and Nick and George was make it the best, the biggest, the most epic lightsaber fight you could even dream of. And it
They
took
did.
Nick Gillard 2.5 years to come up with this sequence. And one of the things that's great about it is it's really Ewan and Hayden. It's not stunt doubles. It's really them. I mean, if you have the DVD or
There's
the
so
Blu-ray,
many videos out there.
you can go check out the behind the scenes. Obviously, nothing's perfect, and they got it to they got it to a point where it was just like breathing to them, but they did nick their fingers many a times while, in rehearsal, and that's really them doing it. And there's a lot of cuts and stuff. It's about 10 minutes. Really, George wanted it to be about 15 minutes long. I've heard the term that doesn't sound like a long time. Again, I come from a martial arts background, and I'm telling you guys, 3 minutes in a fight is a long fight. Ask a boxer. So the fact that this is 10 minutes, and yes, it's intercut with the Yoda fight with Sidious, but I'm telling you, the fact that the stamina that both of these two guys had to have to just, if you watch the film, look at the veracity and quickness that they're, striking each other with, and how fast their feet are moving.
And
Because
correct me if I'm
yeah,
wrong, but wasn't the original fight that they actually like filmed like 20 something minutes?
yeah, it's long as hell. There's a lot of stuff that was left on the cutting room floor just for time's sake. But when you move like they do, your feet have to be able to move that quickly.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to trip and fall. You're going to get your head cut off, or you're going to get bopped on the head. And even Sam Jackson said it in his very small fight with Sidious, is he didn't move where he was supposed to, and I bopped him on the fucking head, which is going to happen. So
Yeah.
these guys are really do. Every time I watch this movie, this is the most epic shit and it's heartbreaking and epic for many reasons. The lightsaber, the speed, the veracity. Obi-Wan is trying to defend. Anakin's trying to straight out kill him. These are two brothers. These are two guys who have, been the best of friends for the better part of Anakin's life. And now to have to, try to defend against a fight like this, that's heartbreaking, man. And they go through all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, I mean, even just outside of this fight, just like else in the movie with Yoda versus Sidious, that was still an amazing fight. And I guess what you said there with it taking like 2.5 years to choreograph, I guess that explains why we really haven't gone a fight on this level since. But frankly, I would rather get longer gaps in between movies to get these sort of fights and these sort of interactions than one movie every 2 years because it's
Yeah,
really worth it.
the prequels, you know, in between each movie, there's a 3 year wait.
Yeah.
Remember, the Phantom Menace came out in '99. Attack of the Clones came out in 2002, and Revenge of the Sith came out in 2003. There's a 3 year gap in between them, so that gave George enough space to rewrite, write, change things up, and of course for the choreograph. Because one of the things that George wanted was that, in the original trilogy, as great as they are, we'd gotten older men, new kids, and cyborgs wielding lightsabers. Here, he really wanted to show what it was like to see someone who was a master at wielding a lightsaber in their prime. And damn it, he delivered from the fight from Phantom Menace to this fight. This is,
If
I agree with Griffin. This is nothing that we've seen has topped this.
Yeah, like these are like things we only heard in Legend in the main trilogy. And I guess that even proves that these prequels are something that had to be done. Like there was this 3 year gap between them. It wasn't like for a cash grab or anything. It was this is a story he really wanted to tell. And I think he told it well. There's of course some like dialogue issues that we talked about previously, but he did such a great job. And the actors, these I think this is like one of the movies where the actors really lost themselves in the characters and truly embodied the characters. Where you're not really, of course, there's all the memes like you and your Gregor that, but like these are truly like Anakin Skywalker and Obi-Wan Kenobi. This isn't Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen. And despite all the backlash Hayden Christensen got, I'm so glad he got his redemption later because he truly did a great job. And one thing I did really like is I liked that once it picked up, the pace really went going. Because once the whole downfall started for the entire Jedi Order, it never stopped going down. And it wouldn't start going back up again until episode 4. This entire movie was just a constant descent. And I think that played really well with the tone, with the characters, and set up episode 4 even better. And of course, what came after with like the episodes of a few episodes of Clone Wars with Rebels, it really played everything well. It kept a lot of the continuity intact. I think the writing in this movie was fantastic, and the dialogue it could be better, but I think at this point the cheesy dialogue for some of the scenes is kind of just a staple of this movie, and it's something you almost look forward to at this point.
I didn't see a lot of cheesy dialogue,
Oh yeah,
particularly in
not much
this
in
one.
this one. Yeah,
This one is, it really starts off with the big action sequence. I love that opening battle, over Coruscant with the Republic versus the Separatists. And I love how it starts off with like Anakin and Obi-Wan in their little ships, and they're like twirling and right in the thick of it, and they're trying to rescue General Grievous, which finally gives us, in live action, Anakin in a starship, which is something that I just thought we should have gotten a lot earlier.
which is so
Um,
funny with that because like with that first scene of Anakin meeting General Grievous saying, "I thought you'd be a lot taller." Because of that one throwaway scene, Anakin never met General Grievous in the entirety of Clone Wars. They had to do so many writing tricks so they never met. Just another hats off to the writing team of Clone Wars at that.
yeah, which brings me to another thing. If because even I, at some point when I saw this movie, I was like, damn, he kind of turns kind of quick. If you feel that way, I highly recommend to go watch all of Clone Wars,
Yeah,
season 1 through 7,
if
and
I haven't said
then
that
watch
enough, go
this,
do it.
and then tell me that he turns quickly. Because there's so much that happens between Attack of the Clones, Clone Wars to here.
Oh yeah.
Mind you, it literally is, the Clone Wars only lasts, because a lot of people don't know this. Clone Wars only lasts 3 years. From episode 2 to 3, there's only, I mean, I know that it took them that long to film, but that's how long it had, what, time transpired in the universe. It's only been 3 years. Um,
Yeah.
and you just think of it, Anakin's already a general. He commands his own legion. Jedi are spread out throughout the galaxy. This movie does a phenomenal job as well, and as all Star Wars movies do, with the themes, the music in here.
Oh yeah.
You know, you slowly start to get hints of Anakin and things he's trying to do. We all know the reason why Anakin turns to dark side is mainly because he's trying to save Padme's life, which tragically enough he kind of helps end, but
Yeah.
which just makes his life all the more tragic because he has to spend the rest of his life knowing the reason why he did all these horrible things, because he does some horrible shit in this movie,
Mhm.
is for nothing because he ends up killing her.
Yeah.
Palpatine, pulls the strings beautifully, and there comes a point in this movie where he doesn't have to hide anymore. He doesn't have to pretend to be this nice, senile little old guy.
Yeah, the actor does an amazing job, and that kind of does lead me into something that's I don't know if it's more of a dislike or just a question, but why did no one question how Palpatine survived two Jedi attacks with no guards or anything? They
Because
just
Anakin showed up.
no, even before that, even after Anakin showed up, like he was attacked twice. Of course, the first time saved by Anakin, second time when he was fighting Yoda. These are publicly documented events, but no one questioned it.
Well, the one with Anakin, the one where where the five Jedi show up to the Senate and
Yeah.
to his office and try to arrest him, that's explained in the
Well, yeah,
novelization. So Palpatine tells Congress that Anakin's a hero.
yeah.
Anakin,
I think he also said that, or at least something along the lines of that in an
you
actual
know,
in the actual Senate movie and Senate meeting.
yeah,
But I don't know.
he wouldn't betray the Senate.
Yeah,
Instead of choosing to stay with the that's kind of how he rationalized the whole, you know, well,
the Emperor part.
because he was really planning on introducing him as his new apprentice, but then he got all Vaderized. And so what I've always wondered is like how did they explain like what happened to Anakin? Because he
Yeah.
saved them from those five
Well, I don't
Jedi.
think they know. I think did Palpatine twist it so people think Anakin died? Because I know like there's only a handful of people that know Darth Vader's Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, he twisted it that way, but
What did
I
Palpatine say to everyone about what
it
happened to
it
Anakin?
right now it's not known, but he twisted it in a way that like yeah, he went off on some mission and got killed.
I'm honestly they may have just helped reinforce his lie saying Obi-Wan killed him. Help reinforce that the Jedi betrayed everyone.
Could be. I mean that
I don't
that would
know.
be smart. There you go,
Yeah,
George. Use
there's
that.
a
I
lot of
mean not
things with
George
that.
anymore.
Yeah.
Kathleen Kennedy, but Anakin and Padme. I love the fact that he goes and rescues the Chancellor. He comes home and he goes straight to spend time with his wife. He goes to be with his wife, and it would make sense that he lost his mom. The one thing he fears to lose would be the love of his life with his
Yeah.
which is his wife. And a lot of things could be said about relationships and husbands and wives and stuff like that. But Anakin really does love his wife. Like for Anakin, I've heard dumb shit like there's a point where I've heard people say that Ahsoka's more important to Anakin than Padme. Nah, dude. Anakin turned to the dark side because in his mind he thought he was doing the right thing to save Padme. He let Ahsoka go. We saw that in Clone Wars. He
Yeah.
was like, don't he didn't chase after her. He told her, please stay. And she said, no, I'm bouncing. Anakin didn't run after her. He stayed with the Jedi. So
Whether for writing reasons or for not. He even said later, like they did tie that into 6 and 7, that he does regret that and wish he did, but
yeah, but he
it
didn't do it.
still supports what exactly what Edward's saying.
But for
Padme is
Padme,
the
he
one true thing, and then I'd probably say Obi-Wan, then Ahsoka.
yeah, I mean, he wouldn't turn to the dark side for Obi-Wan and Ahsoka.
No. I
But
wasn't saying that.
Padme he can't live without, which is sad because he ends up living without her for the rest of his life. Um, I do want a scene. I know no one gives a shit about this, but I do want a scene where Anakin is in the afterlife and he's reunited with Padme. That would bring it. That would bring joy to me because, and also Padme embracing him because Padme is. You got to understand if you watch the movie, she's not mad at him. She even tells Obi-Wan, she's like, "There's still good in him." She still loves him, and
Yeah,
Obi-Wan still does too. That's why he doesn't end him at the end of this movie.
yeah. All of Luke's optimism, believing in his father, that all came from Padme. That's all because
Yeah.
of her. So I think that scene would be pretty powerful. It's just put on the list of the scenes that we want in the next movie. Odds are will it happen? We'll see. I mean, they're all willing to return, but who knows?
I mean, well, yeah, Natalie Portman's now willing to return, but
Oh
before I
yeah,
remember she'd like, nah, I don't want to do that.
I think once
Uh,
seeing like the reaction that people have had to Hayden Christensen and that people are no longer hating on these movies that they once did, I think she was just waiting for that right moment.
I was asked the other day if I'm going to feel this way about the sequel trilogy, uh, the way I feel about the prequels. The answer is no, because
Yeah,
when I saw these things in the movie theaters, I loved them. And then as soon as they were available on home video, I bought them, and I've always liked them. I've never trashed them. Yeah, Jar Jar and certain things about Phantom Menace, but for the most part, I really like the prequel trilogy.
I
The
think
sequel trilogy I've always thought was shit.
I think the only thing that can make the sequel trilogy better, and I think they're kind of doing it now, but what made the prequels great, like they were, I would say they were good until Clone Wars came out, and then they were some of the best. I think if they did something similar to the sequels, it would become better, but there's still a lot of issues with it. And I know they're kind of trying to fix that now with Mandalorian, Ahsoka, leading up like with Thrawn and everything, trying to fix the sequels as much as they can. Who
But
knows
see,
if they'll
that's the thing.
succeed, but
They
I
need
don't
to
think so.
fix it. For me, the prequel trilogy never needed to be fixed. Like I always really,
Well,
really
it's
was
not
into
like
it.
okay, fixing maybe the wrong word, but having more context for these events, like more of the downfall of Anakin. I
I
don't
got to
know.
be
I
honest
don't
with
think
you.
they can do that more.
Every time I see like, anything as of late that kind of like hints that of what came in the sequels, I just fucking roll my eyes. I'm like,
Yeah, yeah, that's definitely true.
yeah, I enjoy everything else, but anytime they're like, oh, Palpatine or Snoke or something, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it's just no payoff, which kind of sucked.
But back to this
You're right.
one, everyone in this movie is really great. There's scenes in here that choke you up. When Anakin turns, it's it the storm, the shit hits the fan immediately. That scene where he marches up to the temple with his
Squadron.
501st Legion, it hits me hard after seeing all of Clone Wars because Rex is not there. Rex is not his commanding officer in that moment.
Yeah,
Um,
not
that
anymore.
that lands. He knows what he's doing,
He
but there
knows
is
what's
still
wrong.
that. But there's still that part of him that knows that is complete bullshit, and it's evil. Hence the scene where he goes to the council chamber and the children are hiding, and a little boy comes out and says, "Master Skywalker, there's too many of them." You could see it on his face that he knows that shit is foul,
Yeah,
but
100%.
he's been convinced that this will keep his wife alive,
That's
and
priority number one.
it's yeah. Is it evil? Is it horrible? Yeah, it's horrible because it's children getting slaughtered.
Yeah,
And then there's the scenes where like after the attack happens where there's just a bunch of dead Jedi all over the temple. It's heartbreaking because Obi-Wan and Yoda find this shit, and Yoda kind of knows.
yeah,
How he knows, I don't know, maybe through the Force or something, but he even tells Obi-Wan, don't look at the holograms, man. It's gonna break your heart. And he still does, and of course it does break his heart, not just because Anakin turned to the dark side, but more so because a child he raised turned to the dark side. So for all intents and purposes, he feels guilty.
oh yeah, definitely.
He's like, I didn't train him to the best of my ability. Also, I got to be honest with you guys, the Jedi fucking suck.
Yeah,
Okay, and so Yoda tells Obi-Wan at in Phantom Menace, you know, there's a lot of danger with this boy's future. Okay, so you know that there's danger with this kid. You know that there's something not quite right about him. In episode 2, you send him off to one of the most gorgeous planets in science fiction with one of the most beautiful, I don't care what any one of you guys say, fuck everyone, with one of the most beautiful women in Star Wars lore, let alone the universe. Practically on a vacation, right? And there's no attachments. You're not supposed to fall in love. Why in the fuck would you send these two alone to this planet for a weekend? What the hell did they think was going to happen?
yeah. I
What the fuck was the council smoking? Like what, and there's 12 of them. There's 12 council members, so I can't blame one of them, but they must have all been like, you know what? We're not supposed to have attachment, but let's send this 19-year-old, very handsome kid. I'm not gay or anything. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but let's be honest. Hayden Christensen looks like he gets more ass than toilet seats. With Natalie Portman, let's just send him off on vacation.
I do really want to see like a movie with like the first Jedi, like some true Jedi, because this
Yeah,
war
who
really
first of all, who
corrupted
set up that
everything.
first of all, who set up that stupid ass rule? You know, like you don't no attachments. How can you
They're essentially like monks, so I get it because like it
monks
does.
get attached to shit?
Well, of course, like they have the rules, but it doesn't mean that everyone follows them, and I think that is known. I mean, even Obi-Wan didn't
It's like
follow
in
it.
karate when they're like feel no pain.
Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Like
It hurts if you punch a wall. It's you know, if you get kicked in the face, it hurts. So that
maybe it was
rule,
like over time, like the original rules may have gone changed, or at least when it's been passed down, it's been altered a bit. Because
we
yeah, it is a bit dumb, but
we've all seen Natalie Portman. Even now, she's 40, she's 42. We've all seen Attack of the Clones. You guys saw the shit she was wearing. Like, I mean, do you even blame Anakin?
yeah, no,
Is it even his is it even his
he was
fault at this
doomed.
point?
No, he was doomed.
Yeah, and there's so many other dumb, stupid decisions that the council makes with him where, you know, why didn't they tell him why they didn't give him the rank of master? Because the reason for it is pretty legit. But I think if they would have been like, look, dude, it's not that we hate you. It's just that, you know, you didn't train your Padawan to knighthood, so you got to train another one, and then we'll get. I'm sure Anakin wouldn't be like, all right, give me one to choose from. They were just like, yeah, we don't give you the rank of master. It's like, why be dicks?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's all like, yeah, we got these issues with the movies, but I also feel like we have to remember that it is also a movie, and they're limited with timing, what they can do, what they can't do. So,
Oh no, yeah, I'm just spinning off into as to there 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 could have been things that they could have done
oh
that
yeah, no, this
Anakin
was totally
wouldn't have felt
preventable. That's the
from the
most
moment
heartbreaking
Anakin
part is that this
arrived
is all
in
preventable.
Coruscant at the Jedi Temple, there were whispers. First of
Yeah,
all, why did the other children know that Anakin was a slave? It's in the books because I
rumors
read this
spread
shit.
fast.
You know, the children, Anakin's there in the Jedi hallways and whatever, and he hears the other children say he's a slave. So that would have pissed me off. I would
Yeah.
have been holding a and I can hold a grudge like no one's business. So I could just imagine how that just piled up over years and years and years and years, and he was excluded from certain things. Yeah, I mean, to Anakin, the Jedi they did take him in, they did free him, but also they were kind of dicks to him. And
Oh, definitely.
Palpatine's been nice from day one to this kid.
Yeah.
So I would have turned to.
Yeah.
I'm
Moving
being
on
honest.
to a different character, and I want to know your thoughts about this, Edward. I know we've talked about this a couple of times, but for Mace Windu, no one in
He's a
Star
dick.
Wars. Oh
He's a
yeah,
dickhead.
100% a dick. But no one in Star Wars has ever died from a fall, not from
Oh,
electrocution.
he's alive.
Yeah, and Sam
And he's
Jackson, he wants to
alive.
come
I'm gonna
back.
tell you. There you go. I'm gonna
Bring
tell you
him back.
exactly why he's alive. So Sam Jackson has expressed to Star Wars that he wants to come back.
Yeah.
Sam Jackson never gets told no. Do you know? If you guys don't know, you're gonna know now. He got a purple lightsaber because he told George what the lightsaber colors were, and George told him, "Well, you know, good guys are blue and green." And Sam said, "Can I get purple?" And George said yes, because and by George's admission, he was like, I didn't know how to say no to Sam Jackson.
Yeah, they
So
should bring him
now
back.
I think it would be cool.
I mean, not for like a whole like entire movie, but just for like a couple of minutes. It'll be fun.
I, I'm okay with him coming back for a good while. I just don't. I just I want it to be done tastefully
Yeah.
and not just like don't fucking bring him back and have Boba Fett shoot him in the face.
Oh, that'd be
Because
awful.
then why bring him back? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I don't know. Like you guys could do something cool, like where Boba Fett and Mace, they do face off, but they end up reconciling. Like, hey, dude, I killed your dad because he came after me, bro. You know what I mean?
We could
I
see. I
mean, not
mean,
in those, not in those stupid ass words, but like, you know, Mace Windu getting his point across. It's like, look, bro, your dad was a dickhead. He was a bounty
yeah.
hunter, and he
I
killed
mean,
that bull thing. So,
not even that he's a dick. He did his job. That's what he was paid to do. Gotta
well, he's
respect
a
that.
criminal, so you
Yeah.
know.
Now that we talk about this, let us know what you guys think of the comments about this. But with the success of Marvel's animated What If series,
Oh,
And the
I
success
want
of
a what
Star
if.
Wars Visions in their animation, where's Star Wars What If? Because that'd be so
Yeah.
much fun.
That's got to be coming at some point, I can't imagine Dave Filoni sitting there like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
Even if he
that'd be
doesn't want to
crazy.
do it, it should still happen because there's so like what would have happened had Anakin just outright told Palpatine, "Nah, dude,
Or if Count Dooku or like Qui Gon didn't die. What if Qui Gon trained Anakin?
he never
Because
would return
then
to the dark side." I don't care what
Count
anyone
Dooku would
says.
have still been on the light side. The Separatists would have had no support. Would have been very different. There's a lot of things you can do. There's so many years. Let us know in the comments if you guys have
You
an
know,
idea
Anakin
for one
could
of those
have
episodes because there's a lot of them.
Anakin could have still, told it if he would have told Yoda, "Hey, look, Yoda knew.
Yeah,
Yoda knew that he was married to Padme. So did
I think
Obi-Wan. So did
everyone knew.
half of the Jedi. Rex knew. I know Rex knew
Oh yeah,
for
Rex
for
definitely
a
knew.
fact. So, he could have just been like, "Look, this is happening, man. If I were Anakin, I honestly would have been like, fine, you guys don't want me to be married?
Leave.
I'm leaving the order."
Yeah, I
And
mean,
still had his children and then trained them in the Force.
yeah. There's plenty of options they could have done.
Started his own Jedi sect. The special effects in this movie still hold up, which is sad because a lot of stuff that we've seen today, you're like, really? You couldn't have thrown $5,000 more into that?
Yeah,
Special effects in this movie
top
are
tier.
epic.
Oh
From
yeah.
the lightsaber duels, from the backgrounds that you see with us, that entire lava planet is phenomenal.
Oh yeah. It's
The
beautiful.
acting here is, towards the end, particularly towards the end, like where Padme tells Anakin, "Dude, I can't, I love you, but I can't go that way." The speech that Obi-Wan delivers to him, where he's like, "My allegiance
Oh
to
yeah.
democracy, bro." And
The
later on, when he
one
tells him, he's like,
people quote every day.
he's like, "I loved you," you know. And Palpatine's speeches in this movie, God, these people, man, they can quote Shakespeare all day long.
It's weird, like with the writing of this movie with the dialogue and then episode two's dialogue. It's a bit odd at what
Yeah,
happened
well,
there.
the
Well,
way
we
I
did
like to
explain
think about
episode
it,
two in that video and
they
why it
like to
was cheesy
bump
like
it up,
that. Yeah.
from literally from episode 1 to episode 3. Everyone's acting just it to me, the characters grew so much. We got to see Obi-Wan as a Padawan. We got to see him then take on a Padawan, and now as an older Jedi, as General. Because I always wondered, man, I used to really dig that line from A New Hope when he was like General Kenobi. I was like, damn, I want to see that. I've gotten
Yeah.
to see it, and I dig it, man.
I'm
Like,
glad we did.
just to see Obi-Wan with Cody.
Yeah. Yeah, they
I
had a
thought that
very
was so.
special bond.
Yeah,
It's of course sad how it turned out in this movie.
that does suck. But Cody's still around, so.
Yes, he is.
I can I would really like to see Cody and Obi-Wan again.
That would be
That
pretty
would,
cool.
yeah. But, final thoughts on this movie. It is one of my favorite Star Wars movies, my second favorite Star Wars movie. I don't think anything's going to take Empire away from that. But this is
Fair enough.
definitely one of the best Star Wars movies. Of course, in my mind, you guys can make up your own mind. Let us know your thoughts. Thanks for subscribing.
And as always, see you guys next time.